The Donald Trump strikes continue. This time he aimed an attack at pop sensation Taylor Swift, but it backfired with an unexpected counterpunch. We'll get to that video in just a few, but we all know the man has Twitter fingers like no other, and he'll throw personal insults, derogatory language, and attempts to discredit his opponents any chance he gets. And if you throw a camera in front of him, there's no telling what will spill out of his mouth. It's crazy to think I'm talking about a man who was not too long ago the president of our country. Someone you think would be a model of leadership, the embodiment of dignity and respect, but instead we got a man who was out here trash talking people left and right, setting a terrible example for how public discourse should be conducted. Most of the time he uses his attacks as a way to distract from real issues. So instead of focusing on what really matters, we're too caught up in the latest social media feud or scandal that Trump has stirred up. It's really something how Trump just can't seem to resist launching verbal attacks at anyone who dares to criticize him or stand up to him. So I bet you're wondering, what in the world did Taylor Swift do to him? Well, a whole lot of nothing. This is just one of his out of left field attacks. So even if you're not calling Donald Trump out about his scandals or hypocrisy, there's still a good chance you can make it on his trash talk hit list. Let's be real. He has a long inventory of things he should be concerned about, and Taylor Swift is nowhere on that list. The fact that Trump is choosing to focus on picking feuds with celebrities rather than confronting those mounting legal challenges is a question that needs to be answered. So let's get to the bottom of this newest episode of Donald Trump's nonsense. Taylor Swift's political history has undergone a notable evolution over the years. For much of her career, she maintained a deliberate apolitical stance and did not publicly express her political opinions or endorse political candidates. However, in October 2018, Taylor made a swift shift in her approach to politics by endorsing two Democratic candidates in Tennessee in an Instagram post, opening the door to voicing her support for Democrats and progressive stances like LGBTQ rights. Taylor Swift's influence is undeniable. She has been credited with boosting voter registration numbers significantly, and especially so among young voters in Tennessee. So it makes sense that anyone on a ballot would want to be backed up by her. And if it's Donald Trump we're talking about, then if she doesn't, that's an excuse to drag her through the mud. So, in a bizarre turn of events, Trump took aim at Taylor Swift during a meeting with House Republicans. He said he was surprised Swift, who he describes as very beautiful, actually unusually beautiful, has not endorsed him, and then went straight into questioning her liberal credentials. He also questioned why she would endorse Biden, even though she hasn't endorsed anyone in the 2024 election. He just really can't stop talking about her or being obsessed with her support. I mean, 3 days ago, he spoke to the same tune during an interview with Variety asking, quote, "She's legitimately liberal. It's not an act. It surprises me that a country star can be successful being liberal." If Trump believes Taylor Swift is still belting out country music and is unaware of her pop transformation, he probably shouldn't be standing in line for her endorsement. He has clearly missed a few beats. But here's one note he can't ignore. When Claire McCaskill heard Trump can't figure out why Taylor hasn't endorsed him, she gave us this knockout response.
Donald Trump got in front of members of Congress and wanted to talk about whether Taylor Swift was going to endorse him. I mean, that's just weird. I mean, that is a scrambled brain. First of all, they're under no set of circumstances is Taylor Swift ever gonna endorse Donald Trump, ever. And so him bringing it up is such a self-own that he cares more about Taylor Swift endorsing him than any of those losers that he was requiring to applaud him.
Trump's attack on Taylor Swift is part of a larger pattern of targeting strong, independent women who dare to challenge his authority. This childish behavior reveals his insecurity and vindictiveness towards anyone who refuses to bow down to his ego. Not even mentioning the part of him belittling her. In what world would it make sense for someone like Taylor Swift, who uses her platform for positive change, advocating for LGBTQ rights, gun control, and voter registration, support someone like Donald Trump, a man who promotes hate, division, and fear? She knows the influence she has on young voters, and asking them to support Trump would be dangerous for their future. Donald Trump is giving bad blood a whole new meaning.